Welcome to Be in the World Yoga. Today we're going to be doing a gentle prenatal yoga class. So, I'm Christina. You'll be needing the following props. If you can, a bolster, a blanket, a yoga mat, a belt, and 2 blocks. You also might want to have some water handy and take breaks whenever you need to. So come to sitting comfortably on your mat. Take your bolster, placing it towards one side of your mat, and you'll take your blanket to the other side. This will be so that baby can lay down on in mama's belly, nice and comfortably. You'll take your belt, set it aside to get ready for what you're going to do. The blocks, only one block was needed to come to the floor, and you'll use that block for your head. If you'd like, you can also put a blanket on that block. Come to one side, and we're starting on our right side, and just kind of settle yourself in there. You can allow baby to lay comfortably on the blanket here as you start to notice your breath. Bend your left knee and hug that out into the side, so the left toe should be pointing up, and just take a few moments here to open up the glutes, settle into this pose. The right leg can extend. Just feel the glutes opening up here, feeling a nice stretch in the back body of the hip. Transitioning into the next pose, take your left foot onto the inside of your right thigh for a side lying tree. Then grab your belt and you're going to wrap it around the bottom of your left foot. Take an inhale and extend that foot up overhead. So you get a nice hamstring, maybe a little bit of a calf stretch here. Taking 3 breaths here, flexing in the bottom foot, flexing in the top foot, heel pressing out. Nice, beautiful breaths here. You should feel wonderful, comfortable feeling in the back body. Beautiful. Exhale. Release the belt. Place your foot again back on that side lying tree position. And take a few breaths here. Maybe give yourself a little smile. Make sure to breathe at all times. Grab your belt again. We're going to do this one more time. Taking that belt, inhaling the heel up towards the sky. Nice hamstring stretch here. Breathing. Should feel nice and comfortable here. Make sure you are breathing throughout the practice. Try not to hold the breath at any time. And then releasing the foot down towards the inside of the thigh again. Take a few breaths here in this side lying tree pose. And taking the top leg down, we're going to transition onto the left side. You can take your props with you to the other side of your mat, or you can swap out their positioning at the top of the mat. Make sure you take your belt with you and that it's handy. And you can come to lying on your left side. You can also remember to put a blanket on top of that block to make it nice and soft. And once you get to where you need to be, baby is nice and safe on the blanket, you can extend the bottom leg and grab onto that right thigh. Taking some breaths here into the glutes as you get that nice opening here. Remember, the toes are pointed up towards the sky. So you're creating a little bit of space there for baby to go between the legs. And then taking your foot onto the thigh, side lying tree pose. And when you're ready, you're going to go get the belt and wrap that around the foot. Take an inhale, stretch that leg up overhead, and take some breaths here. Your leg may look a little bit different than mine. Your leg may go straight up. In that case, you're going to take your hand lower on the belt. And do some breathing here. Beautiful. Take the leg down, bring the belt out in front of you just so that you can see it, and come into that side lying tree pose. Feel the right heel pressing into the left thigh. There's some acupressure points there, so that should feel good. And when you're ready, grabbing the belt and wrapping it on the bottom of the foot. Take an inhale, extend the heel up towards the sky again. Flex your feet. Anchor yourself with your left arm And take some breaths here. You should feel relaxing. You should be able to breathe easily. And exhaling, taking the right foot into the thigh again. You can take your right hand on top of your knee. And taking the leg down, we're going to transition into the next pose, which is tabletop position. So we'll move our bolster and blocks to the top and side of the mat. Place our blanket in the middle of the mat and have your blocks nearby. When you get there, you're going to come onto hands and knees. Have the knees a little bit wider than hips distance apart, making room for baby. And place your hands on the floor underneath your shoulders. Let your spine be nice and long, lengthening the back of your neck and gazing down towards the floor. Gently hug baby towards the back body. And if you're experiencing pain in the wrist, maybe carpal tunnel, grab some blocks like I'm doing here and place your forearms right on top of the blocks. Maybe the pointer finger and thumb can come together for Jana Mudra. That may help. Or another option is taking the fists onto the floor. And wherever you are, take a nice inhale, lengthen through the spine, nice and long. Take an exhale here. Start to lift the low back up towards the ceiling and look between the legs here. Just a gentle cat. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. For cow position, exhale again, lifting the back up. Take another inhale. Beautiful. Exhale. Nice gentle rolling of the spine. Another inhale here. Beautiful. Exhale. And we'll begin to transition into Anahatasana, which is puppy pose. We're going to start to walk the hands out in front of you. Press your hands into the ground. Take an inhale. Exhale. Let the heart come down towards the ground. The forehead can touch the ground. Make sure there's a nice amount of room between the legs and take some breaths here. So you should feel a nice opening in the arms here. Another option is taking the hands on top of blocks. So try that out. You may feel like more of a stretch here, a better stretch here if you like it. Take a few more breaths here. And we will start to walk our hands back to meet the body. Tabletop position again. Step the right foot back behind you, coming onto the ball of the back foot, really stretching that heel back behind you to get that calf stretch, and take some breaths here. You can gaze at the floor. And taking the right knee down, extend the left leg back behind you. Be sure there's no props in your way. Reaching through the back heel, take a few breaths here. Nice stretch in the calf. Maybe a little bit of hamstring. Exhale the knee down. Now again, step the right leg back behind you and take it over towards the left side. You're going to look back towards the left foot, breathing into the right side body. Beautiful. Inhale, bring that knee down. Other side, take the left foot over towards the right side and look back, breathing into the left side body. And beautiful. Take that foot back to center, knee comes to the ground, and we'll transition to C curve. So knees are on the ground. You're going to take your right hip and lift it up towards your right shoulder. Look back at your right hip here and take some breaths in the left side body. Inhale back to straight and other side. Left hip moving towards the left shoulder. Breathe into the right side body. Bring your hips back to center and prepare for low lunge. Grab your blocks and place them underneath your shoulders while stepping your left foot to the outside of the blocks. Feel the thighs moving towards the midline of your body and soften your tailbone down. Press your left foot into the floor as you allow the left hip flexor and quad to soften for a gentle stretch. Hands can stay on the blocks, or you can take Jana Mudra, point your finger and thumb together, and take a few breaths here. Hands come back onto the blocks and extend through the front leg, flexing the front foot. Couple of breaths here. If the blocks are too high for you, feel free to lower them down towards the ground for a nice half split. Rock onto the front foot and take the blocks back up. Step both knees back together and step the right leg forward to the outside of the right block. Guide the thighs towards the midline of the body and keep your hands on the block if the low back feels pinchy. Or you can take your right palm face up, point your finger and thumb together. Jhana Mudra, seal of true knowledge and connecting with the universe. Take some breaths here. Beautiful. And take the hands back to the block, straighten through the front legs, flex the feet for half split here. Taking some breaths, feeling the hamstrings open and the glutes open here. Beautiful. Rock onto the front knee and take both knees together. We're going to come up to stand. So left foot to the outside of the block, right foot follows. Take an inhale to a flat back and exhale, fold over the legs here. You can bend the knees if you'd like. Inhale to another flat back, long spine. Exhale, fold again. One more time, inhaling, flat back, and exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees here as you press the feet into the ground and rise up. Carry your block with you and kick away your props here for a moment. Get that blanket off the mat. And don't forget that belt. Good. Grab your block, place it between your thighs, and balance your weight evenly on the front part of your foot and the back part of your foot. Squeeze your thighs together and take a nice inhale. Arms are going to reach up overhead. Relax your shoulders away from the ears, and we'll take a twist over towards the right side. Keep the hips moving forward as you do this. Make this only about the upper back. Take a few breaths here. And bring yourself back to center. Other side. Hips are moving forward as we just twist in the upper back. And exhale yourself back to center, allowing the arms to float down. Inhale, the right arm reaches up and over, a little side stretch here. Exhale it down. Inhale, left arm reaches up and over for a side stretch. Beautiful. Exhale it down. Now grab both of your blocks, placing them on the floor in front of you, hips distance apart. Beautiful. Come up to stand again. Take an inhale, arms reach out and up overhead. Palms come together and exhale, prayer down the center line. Inhale, arms reach out and up overhead. Palms come together. Exhale, prayer down the center line. Take another inhale here. Arms reach out and up. And this time, forward folding, hinging at the hips. Hands come to the block. Make space for baby between the legs here. So legs should be wider than hips distance apart. And forward fold. Inhale, arms reach out and up overhead. Palms come together. Exhale, prayer down the center line. Beautiful. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, hands come to the blocks. Inhale to flat back, and exhale, fold over the legs again. Bend the knees, press the feet into the ground, and inhale, arms sweep out and up overhead. Palms come together. Exhale, prayer down the center line. Beautiful. And we're going to get into some warrior poses. So grab your blocks. I would love for you to use a wall. So take one block and plant it on the low side against the wall, like I'm doing here. And you'll have your other block handy and your left hand. Take the edge of your right foot to the edge of that wall block and then step your left foot wide. Turn the left toes out towards the front of your mat and then take your other block to the outside shin of the left leg. And bend through the front knee. You can have your hands on the hips, or if you'd like, you can extend the arms. So in Warrior 2, our feet are at 90 degrees. We're pressing the feet into the ground. The left knee is stacking over the right knee. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Palms come up together overhead, and exhale, bend through the front knee. Inhale it up again. Exhale, bending through the front knee, gazing over the front fingers. Inhale, arms reach up again. And exhale, take a pause here and take 3 breaths, gazing over the front fingers. Beautiful. Take an inhale. Left hand is going to reach up towards the sky. Right hand comes to the back thigh. And exhale, take the forearm on top of the left thigh. Inhale, right arm reaches up and over. Taking the left hand to baby. Extend all the way from the edge of the back foot all the way to the tips of the right fingertips. Beautiful. Inhale your way all the way back up through Warrior 2. And exhale, straighten through the front leg and reach forward, forward, forward. Take the left hand onto the block and inhale. Right arm reaches up overhead. Triangle pose here. Getting a nice stretch in the left leg here. Take an inhale. Right hand reaches up towards the sky again. Continuing to breathe here. Feeding baby with breath. And inhale. Take the right hand onto the hip. Come on up. Parallel the feet off to the center of your mat and step your feet together. You're going to turn to the other side. So now your left foot is going to touch the block at the wall and you're bending through your right knee. Inhale, the arms are extended. Maybe you want to keep them on the hips and the right knee is over the right ankle. Inhale, straighten through your front knee. Palms come together overhead. Exhale, gaze over the right fingertips. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, gaze over the right fingertips, bending the front knee. Inhale up again. Exhale. Beautiful. Pause here for 3 breaths. Feel the thighs nice and strong here. We don't want to be over flexible here. So keep the strength in the legs. Inhale, right arm reaches up and back to peaceful warrior. And then exhale, right forearm comes onto the right thigh. Left hand reaches up and over. And again, right hand can come to baby if you'd like, or you can take pointer finger and thumb together for Jana Mudra. Taking some breaths. And inhale, coming back to warrior 2. Straighten through the front leg. Exhale, right hand reaches the block. Inhale, left arm reaches up towards the sky. See if you can rotate the left rib cage up towards the sky, taking a few breaths here. Make sure the right big toe is planted onto the floor. And inhale your way back up through warrior 2. Parallel the feet off, take the hands down. And heel toe the feet together. And just for fun, we're going to do a slightly challenging balance pose, half moon pose. So take one of your blocks about 2 inches away from the wall and then turn to face out so that the block is on the right side of your foot. Then turn your right toes towards the block, lean your back body against the wall and start to send the weight onto the right leg, extending the left leg up and back, flexing the back foot, and the left hand can reach up towards the sky or maybe stay onto the left hip, but lean your back body against the wall. Take a few breaths here. See that the front knee is not locked, so there's a micro bend there. And exhale, take the back foot down, take the block up with you, and we'll switch to the other side. So taking the block now to the outside of the left foot. Left toes are going to point towards the block, and the block should be 2 inches away from the wall. Take your left hand onto the block and inhale, lift up the right leg, flexing in the back foot, leaning against the wall. Right hand can reach up or maybe come to the right hip. Take a few breaths here. Micro bending in the left knee. Beautiful. Exhale, right foot comes down towards the floor. And we'll move into our tree and dancer series. So turning your left side to the wall, take your left hand to the wall, and then turn the right knee out to the side. Take the right heel to the left ankle. From here, if you'd like, you can take your palms together at your heart center right away here, or have one hand still at the wall. Then maybe the heel comes to underneath the knee or above the knee at the thigh here, working those acupressure points. Take an inhale. Maybe the right hand reaches up towards the sky. The left hand glides up the wall. You can leave the left hand here, or if you'd like, maybe both palms can come together. Remember, the wall is always there. Take a few breaths. Lengthening up the spine nice and long. Exhale, prayer down the center line. Now, take the knee and take the foot off of the leg here. Bend the knee down towards the floor. You're grabbing the outside of the right ankle. And you could stay here, opening up the hip flexor, or if you'd like, reach the knee back a little bit further to really get into that quad. Maybe the left hand comes off the wall, extending the hand further, coming into dancer's pose here. So this is just an option. You don't have to do that at all. You could just stay with the knee bent down. Bring both feet together and we'll take it to the other side. And when you're ready, finding the balance here on your feet, take the left knee out, heel comes to the ankle, palms can come to prayer. Maybe you stay here, or maybe the left heel comes to underneath the left knee, or maybe above the left knee into the thigh. Pressing foot into thigh, thigh into the foot. Palms come back to prayer. Maybe inhaling, left hand reaches up towards the sky. Maybe both hands reach up. You always have the wall to hold on to there. Palms can come together here if you like. A few more breaths. Exhale, prayer down the center line. And taking the ankle back behind you for a nice quad opening here. Allow your tailbone to soften down here, and then maybe the knee reaches back a little bit more. Maybe the right hand comes off the wall. It can stay there. You can lean a little bit further into your dancer pose here, pressing your foot back into the hand, extending the right arm. And exhale, knee comes back to center. Take that foot down towards the ground. Bring the palms together at the heart center. And we'll come into Utkatasana, awkward chair at the wall. So grab a block and place it between your legs. Lean your back against the wall and start to bend your knees, walking your feet forward slightly. Take an inhale, arms reach up towards the sky and bend the knees a little bit more. Tailbone reaches down towards the floor. Take a few breaths here, lift up through the heart and exhale, hands reach down. Inhale, arms reach up again. Exhale, straighten through the legs. Inhale, arms reach up again. And exhale, arms reach down towards the floor. We're going to step away from the wall, push your back away from the wall. Take an inhale and exhale down. Cactus arms here. Take an inhale, exhale, bend the elbows, cactus arms. Inhale, arms reach up, exhale, cactus arms again. Inhale it up, exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, arms reach up and come all the way up to standing. Let's go to downward facing dog against the wall. This one may take a little bit of imagination on your part. Pretend there is a wall that my hands are leaning on right now. And take your actual hands to the actual wall. So this is what it should look like. Your hands should be pressed against the wall. You step your feet back so that your hips are over the ankles. And you take a few breaths here. Make sure the feet are more than hips distance apart, making room for baby, and allow your shoulder blades to move away from each other, externally rotating the top part of your arm. Your head may relax down between the arms a little bit there. And when you're ready, take an inhale, walk your feet back to the wall, and come up to stand. Great job. We'll take 2 blocks and stack them about 2 inches away from the wall for booty room. And take a seat on top of the blocks. You can let your back lean against the wall. Take your knees out and your toes pointing out, creating some space between the thighs. And take your thumb prints together and your pointer prints together. And you can close off the other 3 fingers for Yoni Mudra. So tapping into the source or the womb. This is a seal for that practice, and this would be a great place to practice some pelvic floor exercises to prepare for birth and here on after. So take a few moments to do that if you'd like. Breathing nice and fluidly here, nice and calm. When you're ready, you'll start to come out of this, fluttering the eyes open. Beautiful. And we'll come into modified cobra pose. So take the left knee to the ground and take the blocks out of the way. You're going to move the blocks towards the front of the mat, shoulder width apart, and grab onto your bolster. Your bolster will go to the middle of the mat. Set your blocks shoulder width apart. Now this is for if your arms are a little bit shorter than mine, because the blocks really don't work for me. You're going to take your bolster, measure it so that it's about 2 inches underneath your hips, and then place it down on the floor again. Bring your hands over the blocks or onto the floor, and then start to turn the tailbone down towards the floor. Take an inhale, gaze forward, and exhale. Set your thighs right on top of the blocks. Take another inhale, roll the shoulders back, and gaze forward. Relax the shoulders away from the ears, lifting the chest forward. And if you'd like, you can come into upward dog, engaging the thighs, pointing the toes. That may be easier for you if you're earlier on in your pregnancy. Otherwise, come back to this modified cobra pose. Taking a few breaths here. And then exhale, come onto hands and knees. Take your bolster. We're going to move into pigeon pose. I'm just showing you what it's going to look like here for the front shin. So you're going to sit onto the bolster, and that front shin is going to go across. So we'll get into the pose now as we show you. So step your left foot over the bolster and then scoot your heel over towards the right side. Place your sit bones right on top of the bolster And extend the right leg back behind you. Take your blocks and place them shoulder width apart in front of you. And you're going to let your head, neck, and shoulders relax as you lean forward into this pose. You're feeling an opening in your glutes here, maybe the IT band, and take a few breaths here. And if you're further along in your pregnancy, you may prefer to take seated pigeon. So I'll demonstrate it here. You're taking your ankle over the thigh and then needle and thread your arm to pull the thigh up. You should feel this in the glutes of the bent leg. You can also lean against the wall here and take a few breaths. You should be able to relax and let go here in this pose, whatever position that feels more comfortable for you. And allowing yourself to find the stillness in this pose. Use the breath here. Now for the next pose, we're going to do this on the other side. If you're in seated pigeon, just switch out the legs. Otherwise, if you're in this pose, take the right leg over and towards the front of the mat, and take the left leg back behind you. So again, the right shin now is across over towards the left side. Hands are on the block. Take an inhale and exhale, softening into this pose. Taking some breaths here. Finding the stillness and also noticing if there's any areas of tension that you can ask to let go. Maybe in the shoulders, maybe in the left glute. Beautiful. And we'll come out of this. Take the left leg and swing it around. And we are nearing the end of our practice, which means we're going to come into Shavasana, our very last pose. So we're going to take one block and place that upright against the wall. Take the other block against that, almost like a slide, as I just demonstrated there. Grab your folded blanket and place that right in front of the block. Nice and cozy there. Then you're going to take your bolster and lay that right across. So you're going to let the bolster come to the wall and lean back. Bring your bottom towards the bottom of your bolster and let your head relax back. Take the legs to straight and the hands can stay to the side body. Or if you like, you can bring the hands to the belly, bringing a connection with you and baby. And I'll take you into a wonderful little guided visualization. But first I want you to think about letting go of your legs, letting go of the arms, letting go of the muscles of the face. Soften the jaw and breathe. Complete relaxation here. Nothing to hold on to right now. Just let the breath do the work here. Flowing freely in and out of you. Nourishing baby. And imagine yourself and your baby lying in a hammock under a tree, gently rocking together. Picture the sunlight shining through the leaves, bathing you both in a beautiful, warm, golden light. And send a message of love to baby. You are loved. You are cared for. And you are welcomed. You can place your right hand on your heart and your left hand on baby. And taking a few breaths here. Imagine your favorite color. Inhale that color into your heart. And exhale, send that color to baby. and we'll start to awaken out of Shavasana. You can bend the knees here, bring your hands to the floor or your thighs, and bring yourself up to sitting. Palms will come together at the heart center. Namaste.